The 2026 wild salmon season is becoming increasingly defined by regional divergence. Alaska continues to lead with another strong sockeye season, while Russia's even-year harvest is building as expected, but remains well below last year's record catch. British Columbia has become the season's biggest disappointment, as pink salmon returns collapse and Fraser River sockeye weakens, while Washington's conservation-driven fisheries contribute little additional supply. Our recommendation is to stay proactive. Global wild salmon supplies remain historically tight heading into the second half of 2026, making early species selection and procurement more important than ever. Alaska continues to lead the global wild salmon market with more than 41 million salmon harvested, about one-third of the projected statewide harvest. Bristol Bay has now largely completed another outstanding sockeye season, while chum harvests remain steady and Copper River delivered another solid premium season. Coho harvests are just beginning, while Alaska's pink salmon run has become the single most important factor shaping global wild salmon supply for the balance of 2026. Russia's salmon fishery is developing largely as expected for an even year cycle, with harvests reaching over 48,000 metric tons, or 21% of the preseason forecast, through the end of July. Production continues to build but is expected to finish well below 2025 due to lower pink salmon returns. Chum harvests should strengthen through August. Sockeye remains stable, and ongoing import restrictions continue to limit Russia's influence in North American and European markets. British Columbia's outlook has deteriorated rapidly, as cautioned by salmon veteran Greg Taylor. North Coast pink salmon returns have collapsed, leading to fishery closures, while the first two Fraser River sockeye run timing groups have been downgraded below preseason forecasts. Although the third run timing group still offers hope, BC is increasingly unlikely to provide meaningful relief to tight global salmon supplies. Washington remains a relatively small contributor to the Pacific salmon market. Conservative management and ongoing conservation measures continue to limit commercial harvests, leaving little impact on overall North American supply. Sockeye remains the strongest performing wild salmon species in 2026. Strong Bristol Bay production, stable Russian harvests, and a still promising, though weaker, Fraser River outlook make sockeye the healthiest segment of the wild salmon market. Pink salmon remains the biggest market concern. British Columbia's collapse and Russia's smaller, even-year harvest leave Alaska as the primary source of remaining global supply. The final outcome of Alaska's pink salmon season will largely determine market availability and pricing heading into 2027. Global chum salmon supplies remain structurally tight. Russia is expected to finish below last year's harvest, while Alaska has delivered steady but not exceptional volumes. Japan is forecast to post another historically weak chum salmon season, reinforcing the long-term global supply shortage. The coho season is still in its early stages. Alaska's harvest is only beginning to build, while British Columbia's outlook remains uncertain. A clearer supply picture should emerge through August. Chinook remains the tightest premium salmon species. Conservation measures and naturally low abundance continue to restrict commercial harvests, keeping premium fresh supplies scarce and prices firm. Our recommendation is to continue planning for a structurally tight wild salmon market through the remainder of 2026. Secure pink, chum, and Chinook requirements early, while taking advantage of stronger sockeye availability where possible. Alaska's pink salmon harvest will remain the key market indicator, determining whether global supplies stabilize or tighten further heading into 2027. Check our LinkedIn, Facebook, and X accounts for many midweek updates. And if you're not already, be sure to subscribe to our 3-Minute Market Insight to stay tuned in to all seafood market updates. Thank you for joining me for the Tradex Foods 3-Minute Market Insight. This has been Robert Ryerson, reminding you to buy smart and eat more seafood.